Hello. Hello. Sorry I had to delay things. We had a friend visit yesterday, so I couldn't record. So, sorry. Right, this video, I hate talking about this guy because he's so nasty, but unfortunately, he's broke a few promises and a few laws, which we shall get into it. Right, first of all, I did mention this in my updates on Jeffree Star, Austin Jones and Onision video. The GoFundMe that Stepanka and Onision were involved in has been shut down, and everybody who donated has been refunded because the GoFundMe has been deemed fraudulent by GoFundMe itself, because the evidence that the family provided and the evidence that Josh has provided counter each other, and the evidence that Josh has provided can be backtracked, whereas the evidence that the family provided couldn't, to my knowledge. So, but it's been cancelled and it's been taken down because it is deemed as fraudulent. So there's that. Then there are two other things that are going on with Onision at the minute. I'm going to try and get this video as short as I can, because I do know I'm getting the delivery at some point today. Onision has been doing something for years, and it is progressively getting worse and worse and worse. Initially, when somebody used, like, say 5, 10, 15 seconds of one of his videos, in their video, he would claim the revenue. He wouldn't take it wouldn't take the video down, he wouldn't do anything like that. He would literally just restrict it. He would just say, right, I'm going to take the money from it. However, he's changed his tack on that. And by that, I mean he has changed the way he's doing that to the point where instead, particularly when it comes to people like Repsion and Mike and Actor, who are very vocally against Greg, he's now filing copyright strikes, not claims but strikes, which then puts a strike on the channel. And he's doing it because they are talking critically of him, and because they use, say, 10 seconds of video, he's like, well, fuck you, I'm going to fucking claim this, I'm going to do this, I'm going to do this. Now, the other problem is filing either form of copyright claim, whether it's claim or a strike, while knowing that the video falls under fair use, is actually illegal. So Greg is technically breaking the law. So Repsion, who actually lives in the same state and not that far from Greg, he actually, when he got some strikes a couple of weeks ago, or it was last month sometime, he actually, see if I can find what it says, he filed a counter notification to appeal the copyright strike, which would mean that Greg would have a deadline where he would have to present a court order that the video does break fair use, blah blah blah. However, he couldn't produce that court order because he knows, and anybody who watches the video knows, it falls under fair use. And it's not like America's like we are at the minute, where because we have Article 13 coming into play, that's a whole different story. However, with Greg, he's in the US, Repsion's in the US, like I said, they're in the same state, they're not that far from each other. So the fact that Repsion did this, and he actually figured out that it would be an idea to do this, because this is what H3 did when he had a false copyright strike. So Greg couldn't provide court documents, although there was speculation that he would produce fake documents, but he didn't. He just didn't produce any documents whatsoever. So the copyright strikes were removed, and Repsion's got his channel back. Now the problem with that is that is a clear sign that Onision has falsely claimed a copyright strike, and the actual penalty for that would be for him to lose his channel. However, he still has his channel, which is a little confusing because in YouTube's own rules and guidelines, if you if you file a false copyright claim, you shall get your channel locked down. Ironic one. So why's Greg still got his channel when he's been doing this for years? We've been telling YouTube for years that this has been going on, and the fact that he's got away with it so many times with so many other people, like I say, he was just taking the revenue, but now he's thinking, oh, I can do damage control and I'm going to restrict this so people can't see this video. Yeah, but that just makes you look even worse, that you are restricting people watching a video that's being critical of you when the video falls under fair use. You are a public figure, so we can talk about you. Like you do with people. You talk about fairies, you talk about other people you shouldn't be talking about, but you talk about other public figures. You are a public figure. Thus we can talk about you. We can use your words and say, this is why I disagree with him, this is why he's wrong, etc., so on and so forth. That's common sense to me, but that's just me. Bearing in mind, over 10 years, Repzion's made a total of 40 videos, and that's, in Greg's mind, is classed as harassment. Now, and I hate mentioning your name, but I do know that part of this is Joy, because she would do so many videos that he would copyright claim her, and it sort of got worse with her, and then even now she's not around, it's still pretty bad, and it shouldn't be. He should know better by now that doing what he's doing is illegal. Doing what he's doing he shouldn't be doing. So, there's that. Then we also have, just check my notes. He's also been saying things like people are doxing him. It's like putting his real name out there. You've mentioned it before, because you've, and not all that is it's public record. If it was something in closed court or it's something that wasn't public record, then I would understand it as being doxing. It's not like people are giving out his home address, his mobile number, or anything like that. Nobody's doing that. Even the people that do have access to that information aren't doing it. They're not even giving out his main email address. So, makes no sense. The other factor is, and I don't talk about this person, which I've mentioned before why I don't talk about her, is Eugenia. Now, for those that don't know, Eugenia earlier this year said she was going to take a step back from everything internet to get better, and we all have assumed that she has an eating disorder, and I would pretty much say that that's pretty spot on. Before she went to get help, Greg was doing videos about it multiple times a week because it knew it would get him views, and views equal money. Then she contacted him and said, please, can you stop talking about me? So he did. Now she's better, and there's a photo that's been released. If I can find it, I'll pop it in. If not, I won't. I won't. I won't put the picture in because it's not one that she shared. So, Greg found a picture of her, a recent picture of her, that her hairdresser posted. And he blasted it all over the internet saying, oh look, she's doing so well, we've done, we've saved her, blah blah blah. You've done nothing, Greg. If anything, you've made it worse. Bullying doesn't make people get help. So he's screaming, yay, Eugenia's getting healthy, yay, we've made Eugenia get healthy, we've made, just changed her life because we told her to, and he's also started making videos about her again, despite the fact that he said he wouldn't. Which, to me, is absolutely disgusting. The fact that he promised her that he would not do any videos on her, but he has. That he wouldn't talk about her, but he has. That he wouldn't discuss her, but he has. And I find it absolutely horrific that he has the goal to say to others, you can't talk about me, but yet he's willing to talk about somebody who's repeatedly asked him not to talk about her. And yes, he has asked Repzion not to talk about him, but the only problem with that, Greg, is you give us so much to talk about. You put your ex's information out there. You dox your exes. You manipulate your exes to do things you want them to do. You manipulate people. You manipulate fans. You go off on fans because they can no longer pledge $2. But we're not allowed to talk about you. But you're allowed to talk about somebody who has a mental illness, which is what an eating disorder is. It's a mental illness where their brain isn't working the right way because their brain is thinking, I can control this, when they feel like they can't control everything else. So, but no, you're an expert on eating disorders, just like you're an expert on furries, you're an expert on African American hair, you're an expert on curly hair in general, you're an expert on how to deal with skin disorders, you're an expert on depression, you're an expert on abuse. There's a lot of things I won't claim I'm an expert on. There's certain things I will say I have expertise in because of my education, because of my research. And then that's, that's within my purview because that's something I've studied. However, to my knowledge, the stuff you talk about you haven't studied other than a couple of Google searches and a couple of conversations. A couple of Google searches and a couple of conversations does not an expert make. Have you been to cosmetology? No, so don't talk about other people's hair. Have you actually lived with really curly hair? No, well, show your fucking face. Do you know what it's like to live with an eating disorder? No. Do you know what it's like to live with a mental illness? No. Do you know what it is like to live with a disability? No, so shut the fuck up. Onision, this is a little message for you if you've made it this far. If you ever watch this video, and I know most of the time you do watch these videos, but I'm just saying. You are putting your job at risk, your income at risk. If you continue to do false DMC claims, you could end up losing every single one of your multiple channels, which would then limit your income to Twitch and and there's a lot of things Twitch won't let you do, so you're a public figure, so we can talk about you. And what you post, what you say, what you've done in the past. We're allowed to talk about that because you're a public figure. There's no way around that. I'm sorry, Greg. You've been on this platform for over 10 years. You should know that by now. You talk about other public figures because it's free speech. But yeah, when people talk about you, it's not free speech and it's not allowed. Which makes no sense. Step back and do some serious thinking. Do you want to be known as an asshole, a manipulator, a liar for the rest of your life? Because that's what's going to end up happening. The way it stands, if you were to go for a job anywhere, in any company, say for example you were to apply for a job as an editor at High Five, which is the company Matthias owns, he would take one look at your videos and say, fuck no. He probably even knows who you are because he's been on the platform for a long time as well. So that would put your ability to get a job at risk. The amount of videos that have been done about you, talking about your opinions, talking about the words that come out of your mouth, talk about the vitriolic part of who you are, that would put your ability to get a job pretty low. And I don't think you realise that. You are breaking laws, you are breaking promises, and you're okay with it, which is what worries me. You've broke the law when it comes to the IRS. You claim things you shouldn't have claimed. You've broke the law with regards to copyright claims. You've broke the law with regards to your state's requirements for working in your garden, especially around wetlands. And you also are pretty poisonous to anybody who's in your life, and you've doxed people, which are all things that laws that you've broken. You're entitled to opinion, but so are we. We can talk about you, and in fact, it's very easy. You give us so much to talk about, it's untrue. Doing a video where you're walking around your house in a bloody diaper. Now, people that have to wear diapers would find that insulting. And there are people that unfortunately do have to wear diapers, they're adults. And the fact that you think it's something funny today, and the fact that you can't respect another person's opinion on a topic, instead of debating them on facts, you just go after them with vitriol, nastiness and horrific words. But you're okay with that. You're fine with that. You're fine with being known as the person that goes after people because you want to. Stop it, take a step back and think about your reputation and livelihood. If you lose YouTube, granted you won't lose that much money because you're not making that much. However, your reputation, if you lose your YouTube channel, will follow you. It will follow you to YouNow and it will follow you to Twitch. In actual fact, a lot of people on Twitch probably don't want you on Twitch. So, stop breaking law, stop breaking promises. And then we might just start having respect for you again. But I think it's time for you to take a step back, take a break, spend a couple of weeks with your kids when they're on some holidays, spend time with your family, with your partner, away from the internet, away from videos, away from live streams, away from everything. Just a couple of weeks. And think about what's really important to you, which you should be your family. They're the priorities, so you need to be able to make money, and if you carry on the way you are going to lose one, if not all of your platforms. With that being said, for those that aren't aware, when I'm not here, sometimes I'm on Twitch. There's my friend's Twitch channel, which is down below, and mine. They're both down below. So you can always come over and talk to me. I usually live stream on a Saturday and on a Sunday. I didn't do it last weekend because I was too busy making the desk that you sat on. I now have a over the bed desk. It's quite nice. Shush. And I'm usually on my friend's stream for a couple of nights a week. Usually Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. So we'll play games, we'll have fun, we'll chat and whatnot, and have a good laugh and a giggle. So yeah, I do have a promo top that I got that I mentioned in my last video. That was one of my friends' merch. I quite like, and I've actually got a Twitch Pride t-shirt coming as well. So that should be on Sunday. So I might wear that next week. But yes, if there's ever anything you want me to cover, also, and I'll probably put a little note at the bottom of the beginning of the video. I do have a Discord, which is also down below for you guys, where you can come over. And when I do get back to doing live streams on a Sunday, a YouTube live stream that is, I will sometimes open it up to Discord where we can have a chat and I can get your opinions and we can debate or whatever. And you can recommend videos and whatnot, so that's there as well. We're just waiting. I'm just trying to figure out the permissions and things. So So yeah, there's all that fun, and I am hoping to get Twitch affiliate at some point soon. I've got some more hours to make on the hour side and followers to make, but I'm sure I'll get there. So stay safe, be good, have fun, and I will see you next week.